It'll be a doubleheader today. This first game will pit an elimination game between the Kean University Cougars and the Beacons of UMass Boston, with the winner of this game advancing to the 3:45 game today to take on St. John Fisher in the championship. Thanks for coming along on this Saturday. I'm Paul Garrity. Anthony Vega, my broadcast partner for today's opener. Marshall Flanagan once again keeping us on the air back in Williamsport. And we're a couple minutes away from first pitch. The weather today is not as good as it's been for the first 3 days of the tournament. We had some showers this morning. The tarp was never on the field. People seem to be pretty optimistic that we will get both games in today with minimal, if any, rain delays. Temperature is in the low 60s. And Anthony, Kean has played 4 games in the tournament. They won 3, and really they've done it with pitching, small ball, and outstanding team defense.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be interesting, though, as now this is their 5th game in 4 days, and they're going to have to go to their closer, Ian Fitzgerald, to start this game. It's going to be really interesting, especially since Fitzgerald's only started 1 game this year, and that was back on March 1st, and in that game he only went 2 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 7 hits and 4 earned runs, so he didn't have that great of an outing as a starter. So it's going to be interesting to see, as he gets his 2nd start of the season, how well he can do.
Kean defeated Penn State Berks yesterday. Actually won 2 games yesterday, 11-5 over Haverford, and then in the nightcap, a game that lasted until almost 12:30 in the morning, they defeated Penn State Berks by a final of 7-4. They're 29-17 in at-large selection out of the New Jersey Athletic Conference. For UMass Boston, they come in 30-15 out of the Little East Conference. And they also, they played 1 game yesterday, lost to St. John Fisher by a score of 6-5. They have only played 3 games so far.
Yep, and that's going to be a slight advantage for them, and that's their reward for winning their first 2 games of the tournament. They're going to go with their number 4 guy, Sal Forcino, as their starter, who's 3-1 on the season with 8 appearances, 3 starts, and a 2.49 ERA.
Starting lineup for the visiting Kean Cougars today. Tyler Heisch will lead it off at second base. Chris Amato is the shortstop. Ryan Kelly hits third. In right field, Sal Taormina, the designated hitter, hits fourth. Andy Lopez batting fifth at third base. First pitch on the way to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Heisch, is outside for ball 1. 63 degrees the game time temperature. We're underway a minute early at 11:59. Rest of the starting lineup, 7th hitter is Frank Urso in left field, followed by center fielder Shane Fontana, and Brian Cole, who's done a nice job behind the plate in the tournament, hits 9th. Second pitch to Heisch, hits him, and Heisch is on base. Second time in the tournament he's been hit by a pitch. That'll bring up the shortstop, Chris Amato. Amato 5 for 13 in the NCAA tournament thus far. Also pitched 8 innings in their 9-0 loss, their only loss in the tournament, to St. John Fisher. Fitzgerald comes set at the belt as Heisch leads away from first. First pitch to Amato is low and inside, skips away from the Beacon catcher.
And they're going to say it hit him. So now that's 2 hit batters to start off the ball game.
So maybe a little nerves from the left-hander for UMass. To start things off here. Forcino comes set. Then on first and second here, nobody out, top of the first inning. Bunt attempt by Kelly is fouled off along the third base side.
As you saw in the first game of the tournament, Kean is a team that's not afraid to play small ball, so not surprised by their number 3 hitter trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt.
They have 10 sacrifice bunts so far in the tournament. Check that, 8 sacrifice bunts. Sal Frashino, the left-handed pitcher, 5'8", out of Derby, Connecticut. He's a sophomore. Be the leadoff hitter today. He's hit well for UMass in the tournament so far. No balls and one strike. Kelly squares to bunt. He gets it down along the third base side. Frashino on it. Fires to first, and the throw is wide of the bag, and it pulls Dan Mantoni, the second baseman, covering off the bag. Everybody is safe. It'll be an error on the throw on the pitcher Frashino. It was an excellent bunt. It would have taken a really good throw to get him, but a good throw would have gotten him, and the bases are loaded already with nobody out here for Kean in the top of the first.
Surprising to see an error this early in the game. Both these teams are very fundamentally sound on the defensive end, and I think the team that's going to win this game is going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in the field.
UMass Boston has been very fundamentally sound in their last two games. We did see some sloppiness by them in their opener, that 6-2 win over Haverford. They committed 5 errors in that game. Trailed that game after 6 innings before putting up a 3 spot in both the 7th and the 8th innings to win that one by a final of 6-2. Dan Mantoni got the win in that game, 7 strong innings. This is first appearance on the mound for Sal Frashino in the tournament for UMass. Meeting at the mound is broken up by the home plate umpire. So Kean, who scored 3 in the top of the first inning in the nightcap last night against Penn State Berks, never trailed in that game. They led 7-0 at one point before Penn State Berks made it interesting, actually brought the tying run to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Frashino will go out of the full windup with the bases loaded and nobody out, and the first pitch to Sal Taormina is taken low, ball 1.
That's only his 6th pitch of this inning, and he's already in a bases loaded jam.
2 hit batters and an error on a bunt attempt, and the second pitch to Taormina is on the outside half of the plate, strike 1. Now the full wind in the dirt, blocked nicely by Anthony Cyrils, the catcher. Set the defense for you for UMass Boston. Anthony Cyrils behind the plate. Charlie Hughey at first, Dan Mantoni at second. Dave Murphy is the shortstop, and Kyle Boudris is at third. Infield plays back in the middle. Corners even with the bag, and the left-hander deals. It's a grounder to second. 4, 6, 3, and it's perfectly turned double play by the Beacons. 1 run scores on the play as Heisch comes in from third. Taormina will not be credited with the RBI. So 2 outs and still a runner on third base. It's Amato. 1 run in here in the top of the first, and Andy Lopez, the third baseman, stands in. First pitch to Andy is a breaking ball that curves around the outside part of the plate. Doesn't catch it. Lopez lays off. Frashino misses high with this one. Lopez has been struggling in the tournament, only 1 for 14. But he was their second leading hitter during the regular year at .357. 11 doubles. Tied for second on the team, and the 2-0 pitch is outside. 3-0. Matt Krupa, the first baseman, 3 hits in last night's game, is on deck. The 3-0 is called strike. Fly ball into center field. This should be routine for Josh Lopez. And he snatches it out of the air with a flick of his glove. Right behind the second base bag, about maybe 20 feet in front of the warning track in dead center field. 1 run across the plate for Kean. They did not get a hit in the top of the first inning. Could have been much worse. The 4-6-3 double play helped. And at the end of the half inning of play, it's Kean 1, UMass coming to bat. This is the Middle Atlantic Baseball Regional on ESPN Williamsport.
Last night we put on an epic light show.
Yeah, we did.
The crowd loved us. We love the crowd.
Wait, but there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? All 8 of their eyes lit up brighter than ours. And we're fireflies.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that one girl, she looked like she'd never seen glow-in-the-dark like this before, and we invented glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, we invented it.
And we're going to be out here every night rocking out our light show at a forest near you.
Woohoo! So
come check us out.
check us out.
And bring your kid, all ages show. Oh, but don't bring any of those glass jars, because they make us kind of nervous.
Yeah, and I'm super claustrophobic.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you and discover other cool things to do when you go, like fishing, biking, or even camping. Visit discovertheforest.org.
See you later!
Yeah, see you soon.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Kean Fitzgerald taking his warm-up tosses. Left-hander on the mound, starting pitcher today for Kean University. Fitzgerald is a 6'3" freshman out of Millstone, New Jersey. Pitched mostly in relief, as Anthony mentioned in the pregame. He'll deal with this UMass Boston starting lineup that has scored 21 runs in their first 3 games. They've knocked out 27 hits. One thing about the Deacons is that they will take their walks. They've taken 16 walks in the first 3 games. And they seem to score the run in bunches. They've only scored in 7 innings in the 3 games. But in 4 of those innings, they've scored 3 runs or more. UMass Boston for the year is a .281 team batting average. 23 home runs compared to only 4 for Kean coming into the tournament. Starting lineup for you is Sal Frascino, the pitcher, leads off, followed by Dan Mantoni at second base. Dave Murphy, the shortstop and most dangerous hitter, hits third. Ryan Olivo hits cleanup in left field, followed by Anthony Searles, the catcher. Third baseman Kyle Boudris hits sixth, followed by Charlie Hughey at first, and the right fielder Brian Dupre and Josh Lopez in center. First pitch to Frascino is high, ball 1.
And it's interesting to see that UMass Boston decided to change their lineup, switching their number 9 hitter, number 1 hitter, with Frascino leading off. So far in the tournament, he's 6 for 11, and Lopez has been struggling.
Next pitch just misses. Frascino ahead in the count, 2-0. Big responsibility today for Sal, starting pitching and leading off in the game, and he's almost hit by this fastball. Ducks out of the way, 3 balls, no strikes. So both pitchers having some control issues with the first batter of the game. Next pitch is a called strike. Kean got a run in the top of the first. Their first 2 batters were hit by pitches from starting pitcher Sal Frascino. Then an error on a sacrifice bunt by Ryan Kelly as Frascino takes a big rip and comes up empty to run the count full. 4-6-3 double play got them out of further damage, but Kean was able to take the lead in the first for the second consecutive game. Payoff pitch is a called strike 3 on a fastball that caught the outside part of the plate, so Fitzgerald, after falling down on the count 3-0, battles back to strike out the first batter he faces here in this NCAA Regional.
And if you're UMass Boston, you're okay with giving up that 1 run in the top of the inning, especially with that situation we're in with the bases loaded with no outs to start the inning.
Dan Mantoni, the right-handed hitting second baseman, also started the first game of the tournament for UMass Boston and picked up the win. Takes ball 1, first pitch. Next pitch is a fastball on the inside part, strike 1.
Mantoni also came in relief in yesterday's game to get 1 out on 4 pitches. It was a strikeout, but it was to get him out of that bottom of the 8th inning.
The 1-1 pitch from Fitzgerald is fouled back. Mantoni 4 for 12 so far in this NCAA tournament. He's walked 3 times and scored 3 times. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Next pitch to Mantoni, swung and missed. Chased the pitch well up and out of the zone. And Fitzgerald strikes out the first 2 batters he faces here in the bottom of the first. I'll bring up Dave Murphy, the shortstop. Right-handed hitter wears number 8. He's also walked 3 times in this regional. Only 2 hits in 11 tries. Takes a fastball at the knees. Strike 1. Fitzgerald winds and delivers, and Murphy sends a line shot out into right center, and that's going to drop in front of the center fielder out there for a base hit. First hit of the game belongs to the Beacons and their number 3 hitter, Dave Murphy. And with 2 outs and Murphy on first, Ryan Olivo, the left fielder, stands in. Olivo, right-handed hitter, wide open batting stance. I shouldn't say really wide open, it's wide. And he takes a fastball upstairs as the catcher Searles, check that, the catcher Cole had to really come out of his stance and leap in the air to bring home that pitch. Murphy gets his lead from first. Next pitch is a ball on the outs, just off the outside corner. Murphy is a moderate threat to steal. He had 7 stolen bases this year in 8 tries. 2-0 pitch to Olivo is cut on and missed.
It's interesting to see now in a winner go home situation game here. UMass Boston has a reliever already in the bullpen.
Next pitch from Fitzgerald is taken high. We've seen Kean be very reluctant to go to the bullpen. Their starters have thrown well over 100 pitches consistently in the tournament. 3-1 pitch is inside, ball 4. And after 2 strikeouts to start the game, Fitzgerald in a little bit of a jam here. First and second, 2 men out, with his team leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. I'll bring up the catcher, Anthony Searles.
Catcher number 2, Anthony Searles.
In yesterday's game, Searles went 2 for 4, bringing in 2 runs and scoring a run in that big inning, in the big top of the 8th inning for UMass Boston.
Searles tied for second on the team with 6 home runs coming into the tournament. First pitch is a fastball strike. First game of 2 here today. The winner of this game will advance to play St. John Fisher, who awaits. Game time scheduled for 3:45. St. John Fisher wins that game, they will be headed to the College World Series in Wisconsin. If St. John Fisher does not win that game, we'll have an all-or-nothing game tomorrow. 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch outside. Outfield plays straight away for Searles. Moderately deep. Fitzgerald comes set at the belt, gives the runner a look at second and comes home with it, and it's cut on and missed again by Searles, and he's in the hole 1-2. Gray skies. It looks like rain, but the forecast looks pretty good. The 1-2 pitch is fouled dribbled up the first base side near the first base dugout. Searles was out in front of that pitch. Just barely got a piece to stay alive.
So far in the tournament, Searles does have 3 strikeouts, so he is prone to strike out, and we'll see here.
Short lead at second for Murphy as Fitzgerald delivers low. Cole tried to bring that one up a little bit to give the umpire a better look, but it was well below the knees. Pretty good at bat here for Seals. Count even at 2, 2-2. Next pitch ripped back to the screen. As Anthony mentioned, Fitzgerald is primarily a reliever. 14 appearances this year, only pitched 33 innings, so you wouldn't expect him to be out there for much more than 5 or 6 innings at the most. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's high and away. That'll start the runners. Base hit will certainly score Murphy now, anything in the outfield. Payoff pitch on its way, and it's swung on and missed, and Ian Fitzgerald, despite allowing a hit and a walk, strikes out the side in the bottom of the first. UMass Boston has turned away no runs, 1 hit, and 2 runners left on base. After 1, it's Kean 1, the Beacons nothing. This is NCAA regional action on ESPN Williamsport.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Did you know that all young men must register with the Selective Service System within 30 days of their 18th birthday? It's a good thing to know because those who don't register aren't eligible for student aid, federal jobs, or job training programs. They also can't obtain a driver's license in most states. But another good thing to know is how simple it is to register. Just visit sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. It only takes about 30 seconds. It's quick, it's easy, it's the law.
Timberlake gets us ready for the top half of the second inning. Kean pushed 1 across in the top of the first. A couple of hit-by pitches and an error helped the Cougars score a run without the benefit of the hit. And as the Cougars come to the plate here in the top half of the second inning, it'll be 6, 7, 8 in the batting order to face the left-hander Sal Frascino. Matt Krupa, the first baseman, will be first. .331 average coming into the tournament. Krupa 5 for 15, swinging the bat pretty well here in this regional. Right-handed hitter waves his bat back and forth, and the first pitch from Frascino is high for ball 1.
Krupa is one of the, him and Lopez are the only 2 Kean Cougars to play in every single game this year for them.
Next pitch misses away. Kean has scored 25 runs in their 4 games. That includes a shutout by Ryan Eisenecker in their second game against St. John Fisher. There's a deep fly ball into left center. This one's got a chance, and it's off the base of the wall. Fielded out there by Olivo. And he's going to hold Krupa to a hard-hit double to start the top half of the second inning. So Matt Krupa continues to swing the bat well. And Frank Urso, the left fielder, will take his try. Urso started the last 2 games after coming in as a defensive substitute early in the tournament. Corners creep in. Urso swings and lifts a fly ball into right center. Over into the right center field gap goes Fontana. Check that. Goes Lopez to make the catch. Runner moves up to third. So productive out there by Urso.
Works just like a sacrifice bunt, and now you have Fontana up, who on the season is batting .283 with 11 RBIs.
So Kean, as they've done all tournament long, moving runners, doing the little things the right way. The infield will come in now with Shane Fontana at the plate. Fontana, the left-handed hitting center fielder, 5 for 13 in the tournament. Another very wide batting stance in the lefty-lefty matchup. Fontana squares to bunt, doesn't offer at it. Pitch taken low for ball one. Infield in all the way around, especially at the corners. Here's a hard smash down the first base line and foul. So that's the risk you run. Charlie Hughey was only about maybe 65 feet from home plate when that ball was hit. Not sure if he's going to want to be as aggressive charging this one. Starts off about even with the bag, and they will not charge in this time. 1-1 pitch to Fontana taken inside. Fershino comes set at the belt. Runner takes his lead from third. The pitch is inside again. Fershino's had his difficulties throwing strikes here early on. He's fallen behind quite a few batters. He hit the first two batters of the game with pitches. One of them came around to score the game's only run. The 3-1 is lined to right. That'll be caught out there by Dupre, and the strong throw home will hold Krupa at third. So that ball was hit on a rope by Fontana, but Dupre couldn't have been playing him any better. He literally did not have to move more than about a half a step. Did a nice job getting his momentum coming forward as he caught that liner.
And the ball was hit so hard out there, Krupa didn't have time to get back to the back to tag up, so because of his aggressive secondary lead, he has to stay at third now with 2 outs.
Brian Cole, the catcher, swings and grounds a foul down the third base side. Cole for the season, 236. Not much power at all, only 9 RBIs. He's mostly in there for his defense. He takes a breaking ball outside. Mantoni, the second baseman, plays Cole in shallow right field, a couple steps onto the outfield grass. Next pitch to the right-handed hitter is lined to left, and a diving shoestring catch made out there by Ryan Olivo. They're going to say it's a catch. And wow, what an aggressive play out there by Olivo. If he doesn't come up with that ball, that might be a triple even for the slow-running Brian Cole. And what an end to the top of the second inning. Kean does not score despite the leadoff double by Krupa. And at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Cougars 1 and the Beacons nothing. You're listening to Middle Atlantic Baseball Regional here on ESPN Williamsport.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, Fish Dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Did you know that all young men must register with the Selective Service System within 30 days of their 18th birthday? It's a good thing to know because those who don't register aren't eligible for student aid, federal jobs, or job training programs. They also can't obtain a driver's license in most states. But another good thing to know is how simple it is to register. SSS.gov on your computer or smartphone. It only takes about 30 seconds. It's quick, it's easy, it's the law.
Bottom half, second inning here at PNC Field. Top of the inning ended on a web gem out in left field by Ryan Olivo, who came in on a sharp line drive hit by Brian Cole and made the catch with a full-long outstretched dive, headlong dive. Ball couldn't have been more than 6 inches off the ground, and Olivo saves his team a run. Kyle Boudris, the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second for the Beacons. And the left-handed hitter takes a breaking ball for strike one.
It's going to be interesting to see with Fitzgerald, since he is the closer for the Kean Cougars. He's already at 26 pitches into the second inning now. So his pitch count is high, and he typically doesn't go deep into outings because he is the closer.
Boudris takes outside for a ball. Kyle's only 1 for 12 in the tournament. Here's an easy fly ball into left center field. Urso, the left fielder, shades a few steps to his left and makes the catch. One man away with Kean leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. One hit for each team. And Charlie Hughie, right-handed hitter, the first baseman, stands in. First pitch fouled back. Hughie 4 for 11 in the regional so far. Next pitch is a slow breaking ball that dips outside below the knees. Next pitch, fastball taken at the knees. Fitzgerald ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fitzgerald struck out the side in the top of the first. Fouled at the plate. Ian pitched around a 2-out single and a walk to strike out Anthony Searles to end that bottom half of the first inning. Swung on and missed at a high fastball, and Fitzgerald, 4 strikeouts. The first 7 batters he has faced here in this game.
Fitzgerald kind of goes against how the Kean Cougars pitching staff pitches. As you saw in the first couple of games, that they pitch to contact, but Fitzgerald loves the strikeout.
The left-hander that throws fairly hard. We've seen some harder throwers here this week, but he's not the soft-tossing left-hander like we've seen out of a couple of the Kean pitchers. First pitch to Brian Dupre is taken for a strike, and Fitzgerald working quickly. Dupre fouls the next one back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Slow breaking ball. Dupre's out in front, manages to get a piece of it and fly one into center, but out there to make an easy catch with 2 hands and straightaway center is Shane Fontana. And that'll do it for the bottom half of the second inning. The Beacons go 1-2-3, and at the end of 2, it's Kean 1 and the Beacons nothing. You're listening to NCAA Baseball on ESPN Williamsport.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up, just like that.
Giving up on what?
I'm getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
UMass Boston has gone to the bullpen already as we start the third inning. Sal Frascino pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 run. It was an unearned run. Only allowed 1 hit, but he hit 2 batters. Also committed an error on a throwing error on a bunt attempt. And the new pitcher for the Beacons is their sophomore right-hander, Brian Kaufman.
Brian Kaufman has already appeared in the tournament. He came in their game against Penn State Berks. He pitched 3 innings, picked up the win, had 2 unearned runs charged him, but gave up only 3 hits and struck out 4. On the season, Brian Kaufman has a 7.22 ERA with a 4-4 record, but with 7 games started, so he is another pitcher that can go a long ways in this game for UMass Boston.
Frascino was in the lineup as the pitcher/designated hitter. So Frascino will be out of the lineup here. Trying to see if there's any other changes. Try to find that out between innings. Leadoff batter for the Cougars will be second baseman Tyler Heisch, who was hit by a pitch to start the game and came around and scored on the 4-6-3 double play. Almost gets hit again, but manages to get out of the way of this one. Squared to bunt there. Heisch had a bunt single in the game last night. 7-4 win over Penn State Berks. 1-0 pitch is bunted in the air, foul on the first base side, and it'll be tracked down over there by Hughie, who got a good jump. He was not playing all that deep, and Hughie took about 7 or 8 steps towards the first base dugout and made a one-handed catch of the failed bunt. Brings up Chris Amato, the shortstop, who was also hit by a pitch in the first inning. Amato 5 for 13 in the regional, takes away for a ball. Next pitch from Kaufman is lined foul down the right field side. It's a little different watching a college game here as compared to a minor league game that they usually play here. No ball boys or ball girls down the lines. The players from the dugout just have to kind of hustle out and get the ball. And they don't wait for them. They just send the next pitch home while the player's getting the ball. It's a breath of fresh air if you ask me. Next pitch swung and missed by Amato. 1-2 the count. Kaufman quickly home with the 1-2. Chopped in front of the plate, and it's going to trickle foul just barely, about 25 feet away from home plate. The ball started fair, but had some side spin on it. And a smart play by Cyrilus, the catcher, as well as Boudris at third base, not to touch it. There would have been no play on the speedy Amato. And he'll come back with a 1-2 count.
And since the day is done for Sal on the mound, his final line was 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and he only threw 26 pitches. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe a relief appearance if UMass Boston wins and has to play in the second game of today's doubleheader. Sal could come in relief with only 26 pitches under his belt today.
Kaufman delivers a breaking ball. Amato reaches out and pokes one into right field. It's going to be a bloop base hit. Mantoni went out after it, and Dupre came charging in. And there wasn't very much room in between them to get that ball, but Amato somehow found it. And he's on with his 6th hit in 14 at-bats here this week. A one-out single to start the third. Ryan Kelly sacrificed in the first inning and reached on the throwing error by Frashino. Was erased on the 4-6-3 double play by Taormina. Takes a fastball just off the outside corner. Throw to first to check on Amato. Amato is a threat to steal. He led the team this year with 12 steals and 13 attempts.
With his speed on first and how Ryan Kelly's been swinging the bat, I would not be surprised to see a hit and run in this situation.
We've seen several of them by Kean in the tournament. Next pitch to Kelly is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Searles. Kaufman comes set at the letters. Amato fakes a steal attempt, doesn't go, and Kelly takes a fastball at the belt for strike one. Sal Frashino remains in the game as the designated hitter. Long look in for the sign, and finally Kelly gets sick of waiting and calls time in the batter's box. Here's your hit and run count, Anthony, 2-1. Neil Iovaro loves to start his runners. There goes Amato. The pitch is fouled away. It was probably ball 3, but Kelly swung to protect the runner, Amato, and lifted a foul out towards the concourse up in left field. Two balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Kelly. Scored 5 runs and knocked in 4 so far in the regional. Slow breaking ball. He's out in front and grounds a foul into the camera well along the first base side. Kaufman comes set and fires one over to first to check on Amato. Chris dives back in. Gets his right hand on the back of the bag. Kaufman, a 6-foot sophomore out of Farmingdale, New York. Two-two pitch on the way, and it's low. Searles goes down to block it. And we've run the count full now. With 1 out and runner on first here in the top of the 3rd inning. The Cougars batting already with a 1-0 lead. Scored the run at the top of the 1st without the benefit of a hit. There goes Amato on the 3-2 pitch. Kelly lines it into right. Another base hit. Fielded there on 1 hop by Dupre, but he will have no chance to get Amato, who was moving with the pitch. And Chris moves from 1st to 3rd. Runners on the corners here with 1 out for the Cougars. And their big power-hitting cleanup man, Sal Taormina, getting set to stand in.
And Taormina back in the 1st did ground into a double play ball, so they're going to try to repeat this. If you're the UMass boss and you want him to repeat this, so they're going to probably pitch low and outside of him to hopefully get him to just tip the ball into the infield.
Taormina adjusts both of his batting gloves. Actually looks like the one batting glove, he doesn't have it Velcro. That's not something you see all that often. Batting glove on the right hand is zipped up nice and tight, and the other one, the Velcro, is just kind of hanging down loose off his wrist. First pitch is fouled back. Not sure if that's superstition or if it just feels better that way for him. Can't say that I've seen that before. Actually, now both of them are just kind of hanging there. Fake to third, look to first, nothing doing. Runners on the corners, one man out, top half of the third inning. Taormina is 6 for 17 with 5 RBIs in the regional. Now we have a fake to first as Kaufman stepped off the back of the mound. Doesn't seem all that anxious to throw a strike here to Taormina. Fiddling with the base runners. Next pitch, breaking ball. High foul going down the right field side. There will be no play. It lands about 3 or 4 rows back in the bleachers. So Kaufman ahead in the count. Strikeout would be very big here with a runner on third and less than 2 out. Infield plays back all the way around. They will likely go for the double play no matter where it's hit. 0-2 pitch, low and in. Kelly, a pretty big lead at first. He's off with the pitch, and it's grounded to second. There'll be no chance for 2 as Heisch, check that, Mantoni goes to first for the out. Amato scores from third. Kelly moves up to second.
Very smart call going with the hit and run there now to save them from that double play ball.
Does seem that a lot of Neeli Overo's calls this week have paid off. The execution has been outstanding by his team. Here's Andy Lopez, the third baseman. Takes low for a ball. Lopez flied to center to end the top of the first for the Cougars. Kelly leads away from second. And the next pitch to Lopez misses for a ball. The outfield plays pretty deep, especially in left field. Any hit to the outfield will most likely score Kelly, who has very good speed. 2-0 pitch is low again. Snap throw to second. One hops Mantoni out there and keeps it from going into center field.
Kelly was taking a big secondary lead. I can't help but think if that was an accurate throw to the second baseman, they might have got him there.
3 balls and no strikes to Andy Lopez, the right-handed hitting third baseman. Takes outside, and he's on with a 2-out walk, with his team already leading 2-0 here in the top half of the third. And up steps maybe the hottest hitter for Kean, Matt Krupa, doubled to lead off the second inning.
It's been a long first inning for Kaufman in relief now, as this pitch is going to be his 22nd pitch of the inning.
Comes set at the letters, and he wheels and takes a look at Kelly at second. Kaufman sets at the letters. First pitch to Krupa. He reaches out and lifts a foul behind home plate into the screen. PNC Field, home to the AAA affiliate of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre of the New York Yankees, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, on the road obviously this week. Next pitch to Krupa, breaking ball dives down and away, ball 1. Dimensions 326 down the left field line, 371 in both power alleys, 408 to dead center, and 330 in right. Next pitch is a ground ball up the middle, handled cleanly there by Murphy, who shovels it over to Mantoni at second to get the force and end the top of the third. One run crosses the plate for the Cougars on 2 hits. They leave 2. And at the end of 2.5, it's Kean 2, UMass Boston nothing. This is Middle Atlantic Baseball here on ESPN Williamsport.
When you want to avoid rush hour traffic, you turn to your smartphone for real-time help. In a smart city, buses run on time, good jobs are near good housing, and energy is used wisely to prevent blackouts. Planners are making cities smart today, and even smarter tomorrow, putting the power of information to work for you, delivering the services you need, and creating the communities you want. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from this station and the American Planning Association.
There are some things you can only do once in a lifetime. Graduate high school, get your first job, and if you're a young man about to turn 18, there's one other thing, which is also the law: registering with Selective Service. It's fast, it's easy, and you only have to do it once your entire life. Just visit your post office or sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. Do it and keep yourself eligible for a lot of other once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like that first college loan or Pell Grant, or U.S. citizenship if you're an immigrant.
Middle of the third inning here at PNC Field. UMass Boston getting set to come to the plate. They trail Kean 2-0. The winner of this game will take on St. John Fisher at 3:45 today. Roughly 3:45. In the championship game with a ticket to the College World Series on the line. First pitch to the leadoff hitter here in the third, Josh Lopez. Center fielder takes a called strike.
It's been a rough tournament so far for Josh Lopez, who's only 1 for 14.
Next pitch fouled into the seats on the first base side.
During the season, he batted .221, which was the lowest out of their starters in the lineup today.
Lopez is in there mostly for his defense. He plays an outstanding center field. Here's a high pop foul. Krupa comes over to have a look, but it lands just inside the railing. No play on it.
Going off what you just said about his defensive abilities, he had that amazing play at second base, turned in 2 in yesterday's game.
The 0-2 pitch is high. UMass Boston today wearing their home white jerseys with the word Beacons written in blue lettering across the front of the jersey and the numeral below that. Lopez takes outside for a ball. Light gray baseball pants with the old school stirrups, the white and blue striped stirrups. Blue and white cleats for most of the players as Lopez takes up high. Run the count full. Lopez chokes up on the bat here with a full count, and he fouls one back into the sweet level up along the first base side. So at least a 7-pitch at-bat here. Check that, an 8-pitch at-bat at least for Lopez. 8th pitch on the way. It's fouled again down the first base side. Ian Fitzgerald has thrown 37 pitches in the game. Usually a relief pitcher, but started here today. He's given up 1 hit and 1 walk in 2 scoreless innings so far. A long battle here with Lopez, and the payoff pitch again. Grounded foul, this time the other side, up the third base line. Both bullpens are quiet. We've already seen 1 pitching change by the Beacons, as Frashino was relieved after 2 innings of work. Fitzgerald brings it home. Here's a routine fly ball into straightaway center field, and it's handled easily by Shane Fontana out there for the first out here in the bottom half of the third. Sal Frashino, who was removed as pitcher but remains in the game as the designated hitter. Left-handed swinger, struck out looking to start the bottom of the first. He drags a bunt here, and it's a good one up the first base side. There will be no play as Krupa was playing pretty deep behind the bag. The pitcher, Fitzgerald, could not get off the mound in time, and Sal Frashino on base. Again, that's his 7th hit of the regional. 7 for 13 for Sal. A 1-out base runner for Dan Mantoni. Frashino stretches out his lead at first. First pitch to Mantoni, a high foul down the right field side. Out goes Krupa. In comes Kelly, and Kelly makes a sliding effort, can't come up with it. Ball takes one bounce and hops into the seats. A little bit of moisture over there in the warning track and foul ground over in right field. Kelly wipes the mud off his pants and trots back out to his position in right field. Man on first, 1 man out, bottom half of the third inning. UMass Boston batting, trailing 2-0. Next pitch to Mantoni is taken low. Three teams remain in this regional. 2 teams on the field here, and St. John's Fisher awaits the winner. Pickoff throw to first, and they got Frashino leading. He's out, picked off base. An excellent move by Fitzgerald. Frashino cut down. He was definitely trying to steal there. One of the first pickoff moves we've seen from Fitzgerald. He picked a good time to do it. And that's the second out here in the bottom of the third.
That's going to be a costly out for them. Now, there's 2 outs in this inning, and they have their number 2 hitter, Mantoni, up, and they had a speedster at first. And now that all got erased by that great pickoff move.
Mantoni takes high, 2-1. Just another little thing that Kean does well. Fitzgerald out of the full windup now comes home, and it's a towering pop fly into shallow right field. Kelly, the right fielder, comes in about 4 steps and makes a two-handed catch about 20 feet outside the outfield, outside the infield dirt to wrap up the inning here in the bottom of the third. No runs, 1 hit on the bunt single by Frashino, but he's picked off, and nobody left on base. After 3, Kean 2, UMass Boston 0. This is NCAA Baseball on ESPN Radio, Williamsport.
When you want to avoid rush hour traffic, you turn to your smartphone for real-time help. In a smart city, buses run on time, good jobs are near good housing, and energy is used wisely to prevent blackouts. Planners are making cities smart today, and even smarter tomorrow, putting the power of information to work for you, delivering the services you need, and creating the communities you want. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from this station and the American Planning Association.
There are some things you can only do once in a lifetime. Graduate high school, get your first job, and if you're a young man about to turn 18, there's one other thing, which is also the law: registering with Selective Service. It's fast, it's easy, and you only have to do it once your entire life. Just visit your post office or sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. Do it and keep yourself eligible for a lot of other once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like that first college loan or Pell Grant, or U.S. citizenship if you're an immigrant.
You're listening to the 2016 NCAA Division III Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament on ESPNWilliamsport.com Stream 5.
We are through 3. St. John Fisher relaxing back at the hotel room. Maybe they're here. I don't see them in the crowd yet, but they will take on the winner of this game. It's Kean 2, the Beacons of UMass nothing. Top half of the fourth inning underway. Frank Urso leads things off for the Cougars. First pitch swinging. It's a high pop fly on the infield. And it'll be the third baseman, Boudris, handling it. Just about a step and a half into fair territory just behind the first base bag. One pitch, one out for Brian Kaufman to start the top of the fourth.
Kaufman, who had to really work in that last inning, Kaufman, who really worked in that last inning, is grateful to have that one pitch out here now, hopefully to keep his pitch count back on track here in his second inning of work.
Shane Fontana, the left-handed hitting center fielder. Fly to right, actually line to right in the second. First pitch to him is inside for ball one. Kean today wearing their road gray jerseys, kind of a light gray color with blue, dark blue numerals. Solid colors, no stripes or anything anywhere on the uniform. Next pitch low for ball two. Two-0 pitch from Kaufman is a called strike. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Kean. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error that led to the first inning run for the Beacons. Here's a smash to short. Worm burner handled there by Murphy, and he sidearms it over to first for the second out in the top of the fourth. Brian Cole flied to left in the second inning. And that was actually the best defensive play. One of the better defensive plays we've seen all week as Cole takes a breaking ball, strike one. Ryan Olivo came in on a hard line drive, moving to his right to make a shoestring headlong dive and a catch as Cole takes another pitch for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes.
So far in the tournament, Cole has been struggling. He's only gone 1 for 11, and he got his hit last night in this 5th inning.
That catch by Olivo saved a run. 0-2 pitch on the way is just off the outside corner. Catcher Searles was set up outside. Kaufman hit the glove, but a little too far off the plate to get the call. 1-2. Kaufman deals a breaking ball. Curves way off the plate outside. Outfield pretty shallow for the 9th place hitting Cole. Especially the opposite way in right field. The 2-2 pitch. Cole reaches out and slaps a little looping line drive that'll drop in front of Dupre out there in right field. So Brian Cole hangs in there in that at-bat and ends up getting a base hit. He's on first with 2 out, with his team leading 2-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Flips the lineup around, and Tyler Heisch, hit by a pitch to start the game, and popped up to first on a failed bunt attempt his last time up. Cole is not really a threat to steal. Heisch swings and misses at a fastball. Although Cole did steal a base against Penn State Berks last night, his 4th of the year. Next pitch is in the dirt, and it trickles through the legs of Searles. Cole had a good jump off first, and he hustles on down to second. Scored a wild pitch. First wild pitch of the game for either team. Cole on second, 2 men out. Heisch couldn't check his swing. He chased a breaking ball low and away. And he's in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. UMass dugout wants a strikeout here on 1 and 2, and here comes the pitch from Kaufman, low and away with a fastball, 2 and 2.
Kaufman could really use a strikeout here because he does not want to face Amiato and Kelly, who both singled off of him in the last inning.
Comes home with a slow breaking ball just off the plate. Heisch lays off. The junior second baseman has run the count full with 2 outs and a man on second here in the top of the 4th inning. The right-hander deals the payoff pitch. Line drive right at the second baseman Mantoni, who makes a one-handed stab of that hard-hit liner. And that does it for the Cougars in the top of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. At the end of 3 1/2, it's the Cougars 2, Beacons nothing. This is NCAA Baseball on ESPN Williamsport.
You like Miguel?
Maybe.
He has nice eyes.
He does.
And a nice smile.
Yes.
But he doesn't have...
What?
A driver's license.
Oh.
Of course, Jose is also nice.
Yes.
And he's very smart.
If you turn 18 and don't register with the Selective Service System, you can't get a license in most states. Register today at sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. It's quick, it's easy, it's the law.
19. Well, look at Mr. Push-Ups. What are we getting in shape for?
Selective Service. 20.
Come again?
Selective Service. You know, it's the law. We have to register when we turn 18.
Dude, no push-ups. You only need your mobile phone. You just have to register. There's no fitness.
Really?
No, you're not joining the military. It's just a database.
So...
Video games have trained your fingers enough. Just go to sss.gov and get registered.
That easy?
sss.gov.
Paul Garrity back here at PNC Field in Louisville, Pennsylvania, just outside of Scranton, between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, as a matter of fact. Anthony Vega to my right, Marshall Flanagan back at Master Control in Williamsport. It's 2-0 Kean. The Cougars out of the New Jersey Athletic Conference, leading the champions out of the Little East Conference, the Beacons of UMass Boston, as we start the bottom half of the 4th inning. It'll be 3-4-5 for the Beacons in this inning. Dave Murphy, the shortstop, singled with 2 outs in the first. First pitch from Ian Fitzgerald is a slow breaking ball that catches the outside corner for strike 1. Fitzgerald has thrown 53 pitches. Another slow breaking ball. Murphy out in front, grounds one over to third. Andy Lopez handles it cleanly and gets the out at first. 1 out on 2 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th. As Fitzgerald continues to deal, he's only given up 2 hits in the game. Struck out 4. He's only walked 1, and Ryan Olivo, who comes to the plate now, was the only man to walk against Fitzgerald. First pitch to Ryan is low, ball 1.
Fitzgerald has really settled in now, retiring 8 straight batters.
Olivo hits a ground ball in the hole, fielded there by Amato, and a strong throw to first. Quick release to get Olivo, who is hustling down the line, by about a step and a half. Amato had a long throw there. He made that play look easy. That was not. Had to range about 2 or 3 steps to his right. Quick, accurate throw to first. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th. Anthony Searles comes to the plate. He struck out. Final out of the first inning when Fitzgerald struck out the side. First pitch to him was outside. 1-0 pitch is taken high, ball 2. Cyril swings and misses at a fastball as Fitzgerald challenged him. Cyril's 2 for 13 so far in this NCAA regional. And the 2-1 offering is fouled back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Slow breaking ball. Fitzgerald wanted that call, didn't get it as the ball curved again around the plate just off the outside corner. And Cyril's has run the count full here with 2 outs and nobody on the bottom of the 4th. Fastball swung on and missed. Cyril's for the second time is down on strikes. The 5th strikeout of the game for Ian Fitzgerald, his first one since the 2nd inning. And that does it for the Beacons in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 4, Kean leads UMass 2-0. This is Middle Atlantic Baseball Regional on ESPN Williamsport.
There are some things you can only do once in a lifetime. Graduate high school, get your first job, and if you're a young man about to turn 18, there's one other thing, which is also the law: registering with Selective Service. It's fast, it's easy, and you only have to do it once your entire life. Just visit your post office or sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. Do it and keep yourself eligible for a lot of other once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like that first college loan or Pell Grant, or U.S. citizenship if you're an immigrant.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Ryan Kaufman stays in the game to begin his 3rd inning of relief here for the UMass Boston Beacons. UMass Boston looking for their 31st victory of the season under their manager Brendan Eigebrodt. Champions out of the Little East Conference. They've won 2 of the 3 games they've played here in this regional. Lost last night to St. John Fisher in a thrilling game, 6-5. Beacons scored 4 in the top half of the 8th to take a 5-2 lead and seemingly had control, but the Cardinals responded with 4 in the bottom of the 8th as Chris Amato leads off here in the top of the 5th for the Cougars of Kean. First pitch to him is fouled back.
So far in the game, Amato's been able to get on base twice, with his first at-bat being hit by a pitch and the second at-bat single and coming around to score.
Next pitch is low to Amato. Amato 6 for 14 so far this week. Slow breaking ball. He hits a slow grounder to second. Handled there by Mantoni. His throw to first gets a hustling Amato by only about a half a step. Mantoni probably could have charged that ball a little more aggressively, but he trusted the strength of his arm. Amato is retired to start the top of the 5th. Ryan Kelly has had a very good tournament. 1 for 2. Check that. 1 for 1 today. First pitch swing, and it's a routine fly ball into moderately deep left field. But Ryan Olivo is there to make a one-handed catch. And on 3 pitches, Brian Kaufman has 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Sal Taormina has hit 2 ground balls to second base so far today. First one resulted in a 4-6-3 double play. The other one was just a routine ground out 4-3. He bats with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Kean, 2 runs, 3 hits. UMass, no runs, 2 hits. UMass has committed the only error in the game as Taormina grounds a foul off his front foot He'll take a moment to shake off the, what's that phrase when you have a, shake off the, when your foot falls asleep? Shake off the bees that are flying around in his foot right now. Here he is back in the box. Breaking ball low and away.
Kaufman's trying to get the first 1-2-3 inning for UMass Boston here in this bottom of the top of the fifth.
Pitch low and away, fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Sal Taormina, who hit a long home run over the 371 sign earlier in the tournament in left center. Next pitch is a fastball low again. Taormina ahead 3-1. That was Taormina's second home run of the season and only the 5th as a team for the Cougars. Not a power-hitting team by any stretch. Taormina takes at the knees for a called strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning in a fast-moving game here in Mid-Atlantic Regional. Here's a deep fly ball to right center, but the right fielder, Brian Dupre, is there to make the catch, ranging over into the gap, right about 5 or 6 steps to his right to make an easy play to end the inning. They go 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. We're moving along here at PNC Field. Halfway through, it's 2-0 Kean on ESPN Williamsport.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Kean Fitzgerald, only through 33 innings all season long, is getting set for his 5th inning of work. Thrown four innings of shutout baseball so far. The sophomore left-hander has allowed 2 hits and a walk over those 4 innings. He struck out 5.
He's also at 61 pitches, which is an alarming rate for primarily a reliever and their closer. So it's safe to say he's going to be unavailable for the second game tonight and unavailable tomorrow probably.
It'll be 6, 7, 8 in the batting order for the Beacons. Kyle Boudris leads off, takes a fastball called strike. Boudris flied to left to start the second inning. Lefty-lefty matchup, and a breaking ball twists over the middle of the plate, but it's too high. Boudris only 1 for 13 in the regional. One of their better hitters, actually the second leading hitter on the team during the regular year. .352 batting average for Kyle. 27 RBIs, and he takes another one too high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball lined into center, and Boudris is on with a leadoff single to start the 5th. Charlie Hughey, the right-handed hitting first baseman, adjusts his batting gloves and digs in.
So far in the tournament, Hughey's batting .333 at 4 for 12 in tournament play.
Squares the bunt, and he pulls it back as the fastball comes in too high. Boudris, not a threat to steal at first. He's tried 5 of them this year. Has only been successful twice. Time called by the home plate umpire quickly. Both these pitchers working relatively quickly. This game has a nice pace to it. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Throw over to first to check on Boudris. He's back safely. Ian Fitzgerald, the freshman out of Millstone, New Jersey. Listed at 6'3", 190 pounds. Fake bunt and a swing, and it's fouled back to the screen. So down 2 runs here. We'll see if he does want to get the bunt down here on this 1-1 pitch. Squares early, and this time he's going to try the bunt, but he pulls it back and takes outside, ball 2.
With how aggressive the corner infielders are charging, I think I would choose to let him swing the bat here.
Yeah, with Hughie hitting the ball pretty well this week, if I'm Kean, I almost say, you know what, you want to sacrifice, go right ahead. We'll take the out. Here's a hit-and-run play. Swings and misses. Throw it on to second by Cole, and the middle infielders collide with one another. That would have been an out, but there was some confusion on who was going to take the throw, and Kyle Boudris slides in with his 3rd stolen base of the year.
And that is a gift for UMass Boston because he was dead in the water if one of the infielders called off the other.
A perfect throw by Brian Cole, who came out of his crouch quickly and fired a missile down to second. Pitch was a swinging strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Slow breaking ball. Fouled away down the right field side by Hughie. Kelly comes over but has no play. Takes 1 hop on the warning track and bounds into the seats. The infielder on the plate is much softer today. We've seen a lot of high bouncing ground balls in the first 3 days of this tournament. But after just a little bit of rain this morning, doesn't seem to be as hard around home plate. Here's a high pop-up on the first base side. Krupa waves his arms, makes the call and the catch just on the infield grass. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Brian Dupree, the right fielder, stands in. 5 for 11 so far this week.
He also has 3 RBIs. Right now, if I'm Kean, I think I might give him the intentional walk here to face the struggling Lopez, who's only 1 for 15 in tournament play.
First pitch to Dupree is a ball taken high, a breaking ball. Man on second, 1 man out. UMass Boston trailing 2-0 at the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. Wheeled to second by Fitzgerald, but Boudris saw it coming and ducks back in. Fitzgerald comes in with the pitch, and it's lashed foul. A high fly that'll get over the roof here at PNC Field and out into the parking lot. One level stadium here in Moosic, Pennsylvania, with a suite level that runs all the way around the first and third base sides. Next pitch to Dupree is taken high, ball 2. Fitzgerald comes set at the belt. Check on the runner, and the 2-1 pitch on the way. Line drive in the hole between first and second. A base hit to right. Kelly is on it quickly, and a strong throw into Krupa, the cutoff man, around the pitcher's mound, will hold Boudris at third base. Kyle had to hold up. He wasn't sure if maybe that line drive had a chance to be caught by Heisch, the second baseman. So another clutch base hit by Brian Dupree, who continues to swing the bat well. And with runners on the corners of 1 out, Josh Lopez will have a chance to drive one in.
got to start to wonder if Fitzgerald is starting to lose stuff as his pitch count is up now in the 70s in his 5th inning of work here.
Unofficially, we have him at 76 pitches. No action in the Cougar bullpen. Dupree leads away from first. Here's a safety squeeze, and it's bunted foul, dribbling up the first base line. Cole out to get it. That was not a suicide squeeze. Boudreaux was not charging down the line until the ball was bunted. This is basically a textbook time for a squeeze play here. Pitch out could even be in play here at some point during this at-bat. 0-1 with runners on the corners and 1 out. Fitzgerald comes home. Lopez swings and hits a shallow fly ball into center. This will be interesting. Fontana makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be close. The tag, and he is out at the plate. For the second consecutive day, Shane Fontana in center field with an outfield assist and shows that strong, accurate throwing arm, and Brian Cole took a shot as the runner Boudreaux charged into him at home plate, and an 8-2 double play to end things here in the home half of the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left on base for the Beacons. We're through 5. It's 2-0 Kean here on ESPN Williamsport.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
Oh, that's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Double play to end the bottom half of the 5th inning. Shane Fontana has been excellent defensively in this tournament. Also has 5 hits before today. He will likely come to bat in this inning. He's due up 4th for the Cougars as we start the top of the 6th. 2-0 Kean has the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Cougars. They have not committed an error. First pitch to Andy Lopez. The number 5 hitter is taken high for a ball. St. John Fisher waits the winner. See a couple of their players sitting up in the concourse level. Lopez grounds a foul up along the first base side. The Kean Cougars have gotten to this point in the tournament with defense. By far, to my vantage point, the best defensive team we've seen this week. Only 1 error in 4.5 games, which is almost unheard of at Division III level. Lopez takes a breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lopez walked in the 3rd inning. Here's a high bouncer to 3rd, taken there on 1 hop by Boudreaux, and he throws across to get Lopez by a step for the first out here in the top of the 6th. Matt Krupa, 1 for 2 today with a long double over the head of Olivo, the left fielder, his first time up today. Grounds one off his ankle to start his at-bat here. St. John Fisher waits the winner. They'll play the winner of this game at 3:45 with St. John Fisher 1 win away from the College World Series. Next week, breaking ball taken for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Matt Krupa. Fastball called strike 3. A little bit of a late call by the home plate umpire, but no argument from Krupa. Perfectly placed fastball that time by Brian Kaufman, who is in his 4th inning of relief here today. He has only allowed 1 run on 3 hits and a walk. And with 2 outs and nobody on, that brings up the left fielder, Frank Urso. First pitch is a breaking ball strike.
So far in the game, Urso is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts.
Urso, 5'11" sophomore out of Warren, New Jersey. Here's a slow bouncer to short. Charging is Murphy, and a strong throw to get Urso by about a half a step at first. 1-2-3 go the Cougars for the second consecutive inning. We're through 5.5. The Cougars continue to lead 2-0. This is the NCAA Division III baseball tournament on ESPN Radio, Williamsport.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I might look like an adult, like a person who could possibly be a parent, but I have no idea how to talk like one. And everyone knows that if you want to be a parent, you have to sound good when you say things like, "Don't make me turn this car around," or "because I said so," or "don't make me come back there." I don't even really know what those things mean, but I know that I actually believed my parents when they said them to me. How did they manage to sound so convincing? Here we go. "Don't make me come back there." Ugh, no, that's not tough enough at all. Kids can sense weakness. "Don't make me come back there." Ooh, yeah, that's better. In fact, that kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to listen to you practice your dad voice. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Kenny Logan's Danger Zone blares across the speakers here at PNC Field as we enter the bottom half of the 6th inning. UMass Boston coming to bat looking for their first run of the game. They've tallied 4 hits on the afternoon against the junior left-hander for Kean, Ian Fitzgerald. Check that freshman left-hander. It'll be 1-2-3 in the order for the Beacons. Sal Frascino will start things off. Danger zone for Fitzgerald. His pitch count is getting up there. Primarily a reliever this season. He's thrown 78 pitches through the first 5 innings. Bullpen remains quiet for Kean. Fitzgerald deals the first pitch to Frascino. Fastball, strike at the knees.
Well, all tournament, Kean's been letting their starters go very deep into every game, so I really don't think they're going to have anyone warm up until the next couple of innings.
Next pitch, Frascino checks his swing at a breaking ball low and away. Third base umpire says, no swing. 4-man umpire crew for the entire regional tournament. Most games during the season, really all games during the regular season, have either a 2-man or a 3-man umpire crew, as Frascino is late on a high fastball. Behind in the count now, 1-2. Frascino holds his bat laying right on his left shoulder, and now he takes it off as the pitch comes in. Lifted foul deep into the left field bleachers, actually gets over the roof. St. John Fisher has fully arrived now. Their team is positioned comfortably in the third base box seats. Next pitch to Frascino is a breaking ball taken high. The Cardinals, with a dramatic come-from-behind win over this Beacon team last night, 6-5, scoring 4 in the bottom half of the 8th, as Frascino waves and misses at a fastball. Down on strikes for the second time today. For Fitzgerald's sixth strikeout in the game. And with 1 out and nobody on and his team trailing 2-0, The second baseman and right-handed hitting Dan Mantoni stands in. Slow, tantalizing breaking ball just off the outside corner. Next pitch is a fastball. Not exactly sure where that one missed, but it's 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch, a fastball too high. Murphy has been on base once today with a single. 1 pitch away from drawing his 4th walk of the week. 3-0 pitch is off the plate inside, and Murphy on base for the second time today. Check that, Mantoni.
He's
with
on
the
base.
Walk.
He's on base for the first time today on the 4-pitch walk.
Now Murphy will come to the plate. I was a batter ahead of myself there for a second. Mantoni at first with 1 man out. And the power-hitting shortstop Murphy. Big rip at a breaking ball. Fouls it back to the screen. Kean in search of their 30th victory of the year. 0-1 pitch to Murphy. Jam shot. Popped foul over towards the first base dugout, and it'll land on top of the dugout. Krupa had no play on it. So Fitzgerald ahead now of a very dangerous hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. 4 hits for either team. Fitzgerald's slow breaking ball just misses. Cleanup man Ryan Olivo waits on deck. Another slow breaking ball misses outside. Fitzgerald getting close to the 90 pitch mark now.
There's some activity in the bullpen, but it's not Kean's bullpen. It's UMass Boston with the lefty up warming up.
2-2 fastball. Little looper to second baseman, and Heisch handles it easily, ranging behind the bag at second base. Murphy let that ball get in on him a little bit. The first fastball that Fitzgerald threw him anywhere near the strike zone. And he is retired. Second out of the inning. And with a man on first and 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th, Ryan Olivo digs in. Fitzgerald brings home a first pitch. It's another breaking ball. This time drops in there for strike 1. Mantoni stole 8 bases this year in 10 tries. Not out of the question to possibly try something here to get a man in scoring position. Next pitch is a breaking ball that just missed low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Olivo. Olivo 2 for 11 in this NCAA tournament. Fitzgerald set at the belt, brings home the 1-1. It's a sky foul ball that'll land well back into the bleachers. Actually gets into the suite level right above us. Fitzgerald, a strike away, but from what I can only imagine is his season high as far as innings pitched in a single game. Strike away from getting through the 6th. 1-2 pitch is high. Ryan Olivo, freshman outfielder, awaits the 2-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball to short, taken there on a Sunday hop by Amato. And he sidearms it over to Heisch, the second baseman, to get the force and end the home half of the sixth. No runs, no hits, and one man left on base. We're through six. The Cougars lead it 2-0. You're listening to NCAA baseball tournament action on ESPN Radio, Williamsport.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn fast, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save
your friend, your best friend, teacher, boss, coach.
F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911, F-A-S-T, face, arm, speech, time. That's F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, a fellow shopper, a total stranger, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague, teammate, mother.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
So glad you could join us here for this NCAA Baseball Regional. This is the 13th game that has been played here this week. We started the tournament with 8 teams in the double elimination event. We're down to 3. We're 3 innings away, barring extra innings, from being down to 2. Kean, the Cougars out of the New Jersey Athletic Conference, lead UMass Boston out of the Little East, 2-0. Top half of the 7th inning. Brian Kaufman on to begin his 5th inning of relief for the Beacons. And the first man he'll face will be Shane Fontana, and he bunts one foul up along the third base side. Fontana is 0 for 2 today, but he has contributed in a big way. Caught a fly ball in medium depth center field in the 5th inning, and made a strong, accurate throw to home plate to cut down the runner charging in from third, Kyle Boudris, for an 8-2 double play and an inning ender. He's hit by a pitch here with a breaking ball that came in and just clipped him on the right thigh. So Shane Fontana, a leadoff base runner to start the 7th.
And that's the first base runner for the Kean Cougars since the 4th inning.
That base runner in the 4th inning was Brian Cole, who had a 2-out single. Advanced to second on a wild pitch and was stranded there. Fly to left in the 2nd. Kaufman up over the 60 pitch mark in this relief outing. The infield expects a bunt, and they'll get it. It's a perfect bunt right to first base, and it's fielded there by Hughie, who lobs it over to Mantoni, the second baseman, covering the bag. 3-4 on the sacrifice, with Fontana advancing up to second base. Good speed out there in scoring position. That is the 10th sacrifice bunt by the Kean Cougars here in the 4.5 games that they've played. By far and away the most of any team in the tournament. And here's Tyler Heisch. Runner goes for third. Heisch takes a pitch and is stolen base by Fontana as he got a huge jump. It was a good throw by Searles, but he had no shot. And a feet first slide into the back of the bag at third by Fontana. And that's where he is now with 1 out. It'll force the infield to play in with 1 out here in the top of the 7th, and the Beacons already trailing 2-0.
This is a huge insurance run for the Cougars. They really need to bring him in here in the top of the 7th inning.
Long look in for the sign by Kaufman. And the 1-0 pitch is a pitch out, expecting a squeeze there, but nothing on. Fontana scrambles back to third. Two-0 pitch from Kaufman is bunted. It's a safety squeeze, and they'll get the out at first. The runner from third, Fontana, did not attempt to score. He came about halfway down the line. The bunt was bunted a little bit too hard for Shane to try to score. He put the brakes on quickly, hustled back to third, and Boudris looked him back, fired to first for the out. 2 men out here in the top of the 7th, and with still a runner on third, that'll bring up Chris Amato. Second time that Tyler Heisch has attempted to bunt here today and been unsuccessful. Amato hits a looping liner on one hop over to Montana, the second baseman. He fields it on one hop and gets Amato running to first, and that'll do it for Kean in the top half of the 7th inning. The Cougars get a leadoff man on base as Fontana was hit by the pitch, but he's stranded at third. It's time to stretch here at PNC Field. Kean leads UMass Boston 2-0. This is NCAA Baseball on ESPN Radio, Williamsport.
We served our country like those before us.
The camaraderie is what kept me going. You know, it was a dangerous area. All of Vietnam was dangerous.
I didn't know what to expect when I got back.
For the first 10 years after I got out, no one would have known that I was in the service.
I got home, got married 2 weeks later, got a job.
We came back, built lives, families, and communities, but we still had challenges.
The carnage of war left an indelible mark on me.
I would have intrusive thoughts. They're horrible nightmares.
Services and support that can help are available for veterans.
I went to the VA, talked to my doctor.
I started doing groups. I started doing one-on-one counseling.
We found ways to move past these challenges for ourselves and for our families. At MakeTheConnection.net, you can hear our stories and find tools and services available to you.
The more I talk to people, family, friends, other vets, the better I feel.
Well, the game time temperature today was 63 degrees here in Moosic. Doesn't seem like it's that warm. A cool breeze just kind of floated through the broadcast booth here and gave Anthony Vega and I a chill. Players on the field, most of them still wearing short sleeves, so they're out in the sun. Looked like rain at the start of the game. We had a little bit of rain this morning. Bottom half of the 7th inning underway here. Kean leading UMass Boston 2-0. UMass Boston, the home team in this game. First batter for the Beacons is Anthony Searles, and he takes a breaking ball strike from Ian Fitzgerald, who has pitched a gem so far, a 4-hit shutout through 6. Freshman left-hander misses away with a breaking ball. One pitch on the way, a fastball, fouled back. Fitzgerald has reached the 100 pitch mark here today. Doesn't seem to be losing any effectiveness. Slow breaking ball, grounded out in front of the plate, but it hit off Searles' front foot. And it's a foul ball. Second game today for St. John Fisher to take on the winner of this game was scheduled for 3:45, but this one is moving along at a brisk pace, so stay tuned. We may get that game underway a bit early. Still a long way to go here, bottom half of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch on the way to Searles, and he takes high. Ball 2. Fitzgerald out of the full line. The 2-2 delivery is a slow breaking ball that stays upstairs. And the leadoff batter, Searles, here has worked the count full. Be at least a 7-pitch at bat. Fastball called, strike 3 on the inside half of the plate, about thigh high. So Fitzgerald has been primarily a breaking ball pitcher here today, but on several critical 2-strike counts, he's worked in a well-placed fastball. There's another one there for strikeout number 7 on the day for the lefty freshman.
And that is the third time this game Searles has worked the counts of full and struck out, and that for the tournament is Searles' second 3-strikeout game.
Kyle Boudris takes low and inside for ball 1. Lefty-lefty matchup here, and Boudris takes a fastball on the outside corner. Boudris was thrown out at home plate on that 8-2 double play, the strong throw on a fly from Shane Fontana to end the home half of the 5th. Fouls one at the plate here, just barely got his bat on a slow breaking ball. Took a bite out of the catcher, Brian Cole.
No one is thrown in the Kean bullpen, but there is a reliever stretching a little bit out there, so some activity out there. Nothing much, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, bottom half of the 7th. Boudris awaits the 1-2. Here's a line drive into right field. A base hit for Kyle Boudris, the 2nd hit for him today, and the 5th hit for the Beacons. Boudris actually stole second on a busted hit and run play in the 5th before he was thrown out at the plate. So an eventful trip around the bases for Kyle last time. Takes his lead away from first as Charlie Hughey stands in. First pitch breaking ball catches the inside corner, strike 1. Only 1 error in the game. It was charged to UMass Boston on a sacrifice bunt in the first inning that led to Kean's first run. Here's a slow ground ball up the middle, handled by Amato. He'll step on second, fire to first in time to get Hughey hustling down the line. A 6-3 double play ends the threat for the Beacons in the bottom half of the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base. At the end of 7, the Cougars 6 outs away. They lead it 2-0. You're listening to College Baseball on ESPN Radio Williamsport.
Hi, I'm Craig Morgan. You might know me for my songs, but before I sang country music, I served in the United States Army. For almost 20 years, I served side by side with some of the most resilient men and women I've ever met. They taught me that we all go through challenges, and one small act can make a big difference during tough times. If you're a veteran or a service member in crisis or even having thoughts of suicide, the Veterans Crisis Line can help. All it takes is 1 call, 1 chat, or 1 text to connect. Caring, trained responders are available 24/7 with free confidential support for veterans, service members, and the people who love them. Call 1-800-273-8255 and press 1, or chat online at veteranscrisisline.net or text 838255. 1 call, 1 chat, 1 text, 1 conversation can open the door to support. Reach out today. Learn more at veteranscrisisline.net.
Paul Garrity alongside Anthony Vega as we get set for the 8th inning here in the first of 2 games in this NCAA Division III baseball tournament. Kean got a run in the top of the first inning without the benefit of a hit. First 2 batters of the game for the 2 Cougars were hit by pitches. After an error on a sacrifice bunt attempt, a double play scored the game's first run. And then the only other run of the game was scored in the top half of the 3rd by the Cougars on a RBI single by Ryan Kelly. Check that, an RBI ground out by Sal Taormina. We begin the top of the 8th. Ryan Kelly is the leadoff man for the Cougars. He's 1 for 2 so far today, singled in the 3rd, sacrificed and reached on an error in the 1st. Takes the first pitch, strike second is as well. 2-strike count now on Ryan Kelly. Scoreboard says 1-1. Next pitch is outside. Kelly, the left-handed hitter, very wide batting stance. And he takes strike 2 on the inside corner. So the first pitch was a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Cougar right fielder, who has been very impressive in this tournament on both sides of the ball. Hits a routine ground ball to shortstop. Dave Murphy up with it and zips it across for the first out here in the top of the 8th.
Kaufman has done an excellent job in relief. So far, he's pitched 5 1/3 innings and only given up 3 hits and 1 earned run, walking 1 batter and only has 1 strikeout, but he's been very effective for the Beacons in relief.
Yeah, he has done an excellent job. He came in relief of Sal Frashano, who pitched 2 innings to start the game. Only gave up 1 hit and 1 run, but he was behind in the count on almost every batter. And I think Brendan Eigebrot made a proactive decision. He saw that his left-hander didn't really have his best stuff, and he went to the bullpen early, and it's paid dividends. First pitch to Sal Taormina was a ball. Second one comes in outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting designated hitter. Kaufman out of the full windup, misses low and in. Pitch count now up over 70 for the sophomore right-hander. 6 foot tall out of Farmingdale, Maryland, and the 3-0 pitch is inside. Kaufman issues his second walk of the day. You wonder if they would consider pinch running for Taormina here. Only reason not to would be if the game goes extra innings, you want his bat still in the lineup.
Looks like they're going to opt to keep him in the game on first base and let Lopez bat, and hopefully Lopez not hit a ground ball.
Taormina's 2 steals in 4 tries this year. Andy Lopez swings and misses at a fastball. Lopez today 0 for 2 with a walk. 5 for 18 in this tournament. Runner on first, 1 man out, top half of the 8th inning. The Kean Cougars out of the New Jersey Athletic Conference at the plate, leading 2-0 over UMass Boston.
Now that lefty that was in the Beacons bullpen, who's been thrown on and off for the past couple innings, has finally stopped. I guess he's warm and ready to come in at any moment.
Here's a line drive up the middle, and that's a base hit. Taormina is going to easily get fired back in. And the Cougars, who have been dormant offensively, really since the 3rd inning when they scored the second run of the game, have come alive here in the 8th. They have runners on the corners and 1 man out.
And yesterday, the 8th inning really hurt the Beacons as they ended up scoring 4 runs of their own in the top of the 8th, but then gave up 4 runs back to St. John Fisher in the bottom of the 8th. And now here in the 8th inning, they may give up more runs to the Cougars here with runners on first and third with 1 out.
Meeting at the mound, Searles, the catcher, buying some time for his relievers, and out comes Brendan Eigebrot of the third base dugout, taking a nice slow walk. He's calling his entire infield in. He has not made a motion to the bullpen. Seems to be talking to the infielders more than he is to his right-handed pitcher, so they may continue to go with Kaufman here. Jackson 5, another in a long list of great musical choices here this week. Might have to give to the tournament MVP to the audio guy.
And there's going to be no pitching change here as he's going to stick with Kaufman here in the 8th inning.
Still more movement in the Beacon bullpen, but they will stick with Kaufman, as Anthony said. So first and third, the Cougars trying to tack one on here in the top of the 8th, already leading 2-0. 5 hits in the game for each team. St. John Fisher continues to relax up in the third base stands. They are curiously awaiting the outcome of this one. They'll take on the winner in the next game. First pitch is a line drive into right center. That's going to split the outfielders and it'll be a base hit. Juggled out there by Dupre, and the runner is going to come all the way around from first to score with a feet first slide. Comes sliding in is Lopez. It's an RBI hit for Matt Krupa. And the second run comes around on the error by the right fielder Dupre. And that'll do it for Brian Kaufman after an outstanding inning or an outstanding afternoon of relief pitching. He gets a firm handshake from his manager and a pat on the chest and a pat on the butt. Brian Kaufman heads into the third base dugout. His day is done. He hopes that his season is not done, but it's going to take a big comeback for that to happen as UMass trails 4-0. Call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the reliever when we come back. This is college baseball on ESPN Williamsport.
Hey America, we are your pets, and this song's dedicated to those people who don't have health insurance yet.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
Enroll! So listen to me, a talking pug, you see. If you get health insurance, preventive care is now free.
So sweet. You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options. That's getcoveredamerica.org.
And take care, people!
Brought to you by Get Covered America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the 2016 NCAA Division III Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament on ESPNWilliamsport.com Stream 5.
Call to the bullpen here in the top half of the 8th inning. UMass Boston facing desperate times here, and they go to the starter from the second game of the tournament, the left-hander J.T. Morin.
In that second game, J.T. Morin went against the Wilkes-Barre Penn State of Berks, and he pitched 4 innings, 8 hit ball, gave up 3 earned runs, and struck out 2 in that. He had a no decision in that game and was relieved by Brian Kaufman, and roles are reversed here as now he is relieving Kaufman.
So on 1 day rest, Morin, the hard-throwing left-hander, listed at 6'2", freshman out of Wilton, Connecticut, will try to get out of this jam. 2 runs have already crossed the plate for the Kean Cougars in the top of the 8th. They lead 4-0. They have Andy Lopez standing at second base. Check that, Matt Krupa standing at second base. They credited Krupa with a double. Ball was juggled out in right field by Dupree, but they said that it was a straight double. Runner scored all the way from first. First pitch to Frank Urso is a fastball up at the letters, swung on and missed for strike 1. Morin can really bring it. And another fastball, and Urso can't pull the trigger, 0-2. Short lead from second from Krupa, and Urso can't catch up to a fastball. Balk was called. Okay. Ooh. So I saw the runner trotting over to third base. Wipe out the strikeout. Balk called against Morin. I was looking down at my scorecard. I'm assuming that he probably did not come to a stop. So still an 0-2 count now as Krupa advances down to third with one out as the infield comes in. Beacons trailing by 4 here in the top of the 8th. Morin out of the full windup. Fastball grounded to second. Handled cleanly on one hop by Mantoni. Runner holds at third as Mantoni lobs it over to first for the second out. Shane Fontana 0 for 2 today, hit by a pitch, stole a base in the 7th. Also a great defensive play. Lefty versus lefty, and the first pitch is a fastball strike. Infield, of course, back to normal depth now with 2 outs, and the next pitch, breaking ball, dives low into the dirt, blocked by Searles. Hard line drive into the right field corner. That's going to get down in fair territory. 1 run has scored from third. Fontana digging for third, and he'll make it with a head-first dive. It's a 2-out triple to score the 5th run of the game for the Cougars of Kean. And Shane Fontana with his first hit and his first RBI of the day.
And now that officially closes the book on Kaufman, who has now been responsible for 3 earned runs, giving up 5 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings of work.
Cougars can smell it. St. John Fisher's starting to take a good hard look at these guys in gray. Looks like the likely matchup in the game following this one. And the last 2 teams left in the regional. Brian Cole, the catcher, takes low for a ball. Cole 1 for 2 today, singled in the 4th, sacrificed in the 7th, and has been tremendous behind the plate. Line drive, leaping catch by the second baseman Mantoni to retire the side. But 3 runs crossed the plate for the Cougars on on 3 hits, a single, double, and the 2-out triple by Fontana. We're through 7.5. UMass needs runs, and they need them quick. It's 5-0 Kean on ESPN Williamsport.
I'm a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs.
Wi-Fi everywhere.
More playgrounds.
Oh, more ice cream trucks.
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you.
To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Middle of the 8th inning at PNC Field. Kean Cougars not looking ahead yet, but they at least have a corner of their eye on the boys dressed in red and white perched up in the third base stands, the St. John Fisher Cardinals, who will be in action on this field following this one, taking on the winner of this game, which right now looks like the Cougars of Kean. They lead it 5-0. 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors, as a new catcher is in the game for Kean.
The new catcher is number 8, James Liskowski, a senior out of Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Ian Fitzgerald still on the mound. Wonder if Cole maybe got shaken up somehow, because he's really caught every inning of this tournament that I'm aware of. Kind of an odd time to, he's been playing so well defensively, and you let him bat in the top half of this inning, kind of an odd time to make a defensive switch.
They may have made the change thinking of Head, giving him a little break in between the two games.
That's a possibility, too. Well, obviously a lot of confidence in their backup catcher, the senior. And here we go. Leadoff hitter for the Beacons will be their hottest hitter, Brian Dupree, and he takes a fastball strike on the first pitch. 112 pitches now for Ian Fitzgerald, the freshman left-hander. And the bullpen is completely silent out in left field. Next pitch is a ball. Fitzgerald winds, and the 1-1 pitch is outside. Sweeping breaking ball, not quite enough break on it to make it break over the outside corner. Josh Lopez, the center fielder, is on deck. Here's a high drive into deep left field. Back goes Urso, and he can't get it. It's one hop off the wall. And Brian Dupree continues just a fantastic tournament for him. His second hit of the day, his 7th hit of the tournament in 13 at-bats. And he's a leadoff base runner at second base with nobody out, with the Beacons trailing by 5 here in the home half of the 8th.
You got to be kind of nervous now if you're a Kean Cougar fan, because you remember 2 days ago, Thursday night, they gave up a 9-run 8th inning to St. John Fisher because they left their starter in too long, and this is something you don't want to see repeat again.
That was the Cougars' only loss of the tournament on Thursday against St. John Fisher, who they hope to play here in a little while. First pitch to Lopez, a breaking ball, strike 1. Josh Lopez is a sophomore, 6 foot tall, out of New Haven, Connecticut. Digs his front foot into the box. And the 0-1 offering is outside. Fitzgerald comes set at the belt and fires a fastball just off the outside corner. Right-hander now active in the bullpen for Kean. Looks like Vinny Zanfordino, who got the save last night against Penn State Berks. Lopez hits a foul pop along the right field side back into the seats. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. With the man on second, nobody out. Home half of the 8th. They've changed the scoring on that hit by Matt Krupa. They now have given him a single and charged an error to Dupree, the right fielder. Here's a line drive into right field. Kelly is on quickly and is able to make a running catch, moving in and to his right. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And if the Beacons are unable to come back, that would be Lopez's last at-bat of the regional tournament, which was a rough regional tournament for him, going only 1 for 17 in the 4 games he played in.
Yeah, you almost wonder if they had a bat on the bench maybe to give him a rest there at that at-bat, trailing by 5, but showed confidence in him. Sal Frascino, the designated hitter, left-handed hitter, check that, 1 for 3 today. Single in the third inning, sandwiched around 2 strikeouts. First pitch looked pretty good from here, but they don't get the call. Lopez plays even with the bag at third. Frascino a threat to bunt. Takes inside. Another fastball from Fitzgerald. Another Kean pitcher over the 120 pitch mark. It's 1920s baseball, bunting, hit and running, leaving your pitcher out there for 9 innings. But you can't argue with the results. 6 College World Series appearances in the last 9 years. They're trying to make it 7 here. But Frascino takes high for ball 3.
Walking Frascino is not the worst idea since he is the hottest hitter, the second hottest hitter on this Beacon team. So putting him on first and facing Mentoni won't be that bad of an idea.
Well, they'd certainly rather throw a strike here up by 5. But they don't. Frascino's on with a 4-pitch walk. And we'll see if Neil Iovero continues to go with his freshman left-hander here. It's kind of the point in the game after the 4-pitch walk there and the pitch count that just naturally you start looking towards the dugout. And normally it would be a no-brainer, but Kean has they have their philosophy. And they've been going with it this entire week. It served them well. They have most of their pitching staff available for the second game today if they get there. Fitzgerald's going to stay on the mound. 125th pitch coming up from the freshman with 2 on and 1 out, and his team leading by 5 in the bottom of the 8th. The batter is Dan Mentoni, and he takes in the dirt on the first pitch.
You've got to wonder what he has left now. That's the 5th straight ball he's thrown.
Mentoni today has struck out, flied to right, and walked in the 6th. Right-handed hitter takes low again. 6 in a row now out of the zone. And now we're going to have a meeting at the mound with the pitching coach from Kean.
There's another lefty warming up in the Beacon bullpen.
Zanfordino appears to be ready out in the Kean bullpen. Big right-hander, 6'4", threw 1 inning last night in that win over Penn State Berks, in relief of Mike Oakey, the left-hander, who improved to 3-1, throwing 8 innings of outstanding baseball, gave up 4 runs on 8 hits. So the meeting at the mound is over. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Infield will just play for the easiest out wherever they can get it. Mentoni, we'll see if he has the green light here on 2-0. Fastball called strike.
Interesting side note here. A lot of the staff members are working their way towards the tarp, so I'm not sure what the weather is looking for the next game, but they are going to bring the tarp out for that game.
Second game scheduled for 3:45 p.m. Fastball hit hard out into center field, but right at Fontana, who hesitates a bit, comes in a step, and makes the catch for the second out to retire Dan Mentoni. A very big out as the Beacon's best hitter. Dave Murphy comes to the plate. Murphy, a .325 hitter for the year, and by far and away the team leader in home runs and doubles. 30 extra base hits total. Left-hander deals a fastball outside. Murphy today 1 for 3 with a single in his first trip to the plate. Dupre leads away from second, Frashino from first, and Fitzgerald misses low and inside. Two balls and no strikes. Fitzgerald set at the belt. Look at the runner at second. Breaking ball, high and away. And these last couple pitches have been nowhere near. If Murphy walks here, you're really testing the baseball gods if you continue on with your freshman. 3 balls and no strikes. I would be shocked if Murphy swings here. He does not. It's a fastball strike. Fitzgerald is over 130 pitches for the game. Sets at the belt and steps off as there was some movement out by second base.
Like you said, if he does walk him here, you'd have to assume there would be a pitching change because the right-hander Olivo is on deck and he leads the team in batting average.
I am not assuming anything with how Neil Iovero has managed his starting pitchers this week. Ball 4 to Murphy. Missed with a fastball to load the bases. Some stirring in the first base dugout. No appearance yet from Neil Iovero.
Like
and there will be no appearance. We're sticking with Fitzgerald at 134 pitches. Bases loaded, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. The cleanup man Ryan Olivo at the plate. Breaking ball misses outside.
Well, in the game, Olivo is 0 for 2 with 2 ground balls to the shortstop.
Also walked in the first inning. 1 of 4 walks that Fitzgerald has issued in the game. Only 6 hits for UMass Boston. Fastball up and away, 2-0. Dupre on third, Frashino at second, and Murphy at first. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball strike. Anthony Searles, who has struck out 3 times today, is the tying run. He waits on deck. Fitzgerald comes set. Next pitch is up and out of the zone, 3-1.
And that was his 137th pitch of the game.
One pitch away from walking in the first run of the game for UMass Boston. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball high, ball 4. The third walk of the inning and the second consecutive walk by the freshman left-hander. Dupre trots home with the first run of the game. Credit Olivo with an RBI. And incredibly, still nothing from the first base dugout. The infield beats at the mound, and finally now Neil Iovero has seen enough, and he'll go get his freshman left-hander who just left everything out on the mound today. 7 2/3 innings of brilliant baseball from a young freshman in his NCAA tournament debut. at this beautiful facility in northeastern Pennsylvania. Zanfordino trots in from the bullpen. Anthony will tell you about him when we come back. 5-1, Kean leads it. Tying run coming to the plate when we come back in the bottom of the 8th on ESPN Williamsport.
When you want to avoid rush hour traffic, you turn to your smartphone for real-time help. In a smart city, buses run on time, good jobs are near good housing, and energy is used wisely to prevent blackouts. Planners are making cities smart today, and even smarter tomorrow, putting the power of information to work for you, delivering the services you need, and creating the communities you want. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from this station and the American Planning Association.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Things have gotten quite a bit more interesting here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. UMass Boston, who was completely neutralized by left-handed starting pitcher Ian Fitzgerald for the first 7 innings, has gotten to Ian here in the 8th inning and knocked him out. The bases are loaded with 2 out when we resume play. One run has already crossed the plate, and Anthony Searles will come to the plate representing the tying run, and he will face a new right-handed pitcher.
Vinny Zanfordino came in last night's game and got the save with 1 inning's worth of work. He came out of a jam. He ended up having the game-tying run come to the plate and was able to get out of that, having him pop up into the outfield. But on the season, Vinny Zanfordino has made 8 appearances. The 9th was last night. He has a 1-0 record with a 4.05 ERA. He's only pitched in 14.1 innings, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can get out of this jam here in the 8th.
Anthony Searles has gone for the hat trick tonight, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. For the tournament, Searles is 2 for 15. For the season, Searles was a .252 hitter with power, 6 home runs. Be a good time for one here. Would tie the game. 2 outs, bases loaded. Zanfordino in the set. First pitch to Searles is outside for a ball. Throw back from the catcher almost got away. Nobody liked that call on the field. Zanfordino showing his displeasure just 1 pitch into his appearance. Next pitch, a fastball. This one catches the corner, strike 1. Runners take their lead from all 3 bases. 5-1. The Beacons trail here in the bottom of the 8th. Zanfordino brings home a breaking ball that stays up high. Searles now ahead in the count, 2-1.
In all 3 of Searles' at-bats today, he's worked the full count, and with this approach, it may seem like this at-bat will come down to a full count again.
Zanfordino gets the sign. The pitch is a fastball called strike at the knees. Big pitch coming up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fastball fouled back. The outfield plays straight away. About medium depth for the right-handed hitting catcher. Kyle Boudris, 2 for 3 today. Hopes for a turn. He stands on deck. Zanfordino comes home with the 2-2. It's an off-speed pitch up high. And we've gone the distance. The runners will be off with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded, bottom half of the 8th inning, with the Beacons at the plate trailing 5-1. Zanfordino sets at the letters. And the payoff pitch. Popped up in the infield. The second baseman, Heisch, makes the call and the catch. Zanfordino dances off the mound and pumps his fist as he crosses the foul line heading into the first base dugout. And that's it for the bottom half of the 8th. 1 run across the plate on 1 hit, and they leave the bases full. After 8, it's 5-1 Kean. 3 outs to go here on ESPN Williamsport.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/bloodpressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Well, a big threat avoided in the bottom half of the 8th inning by the Cougars of Kean. They tempt fate by sticking with their freshman left-handed pitcher through 138 pitches. But Zanfordino comes on, gets the big out to strand 3 and keep the score at 5-1 as we head to the 9th inning. The third base umpire, something you don't want to see, he was over in the near the camera well along the third base line between innings talking to a couple of the staff members here. One of the staff members had their phone out, and usually that means you're looking at a radar, so hopefully we won't be looking at any weather situations for the second game, but still an inning to play here. It's 5-1 Kean as they hope to play St. John Fisher in the following game here. J.T. Morin, the herky-jerky, tall, lanky left-hander, still on the mound for the Beacons. First pitch to the leadoff hitting Tyler Heisch is fouled down the third base side.
And in the last inning, we did have a pinch runner for Olivo at first base. Herzog came in a pinch run, and now he's in left field.
Next pitch is a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Heisch. Fouls one away down the right field side. Tyler is 0 for 3 today. He has tried to bunt twice. Both did not get the job done. Popped up to the first baseman on a bunt attempt in the third, and tried bunted for a hit in the 7th, and did not get it done. Here's a blooping fly ball into shallow right, and some nice range shown by Dan Mantoni, the second baseman, who ran all the way out and made that catch in about medium depth right field. Didn't see where Mantoni was playing, but he had to be playing pretty deep to get all the way out there. He makes an over-shoulder catch, 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Chris Amato, the shortstop, 1 for 3 today, takes a fastball out of the zone. Amato 6 for 16 overall in the regional. Next pitch swung and missed at a pitch out of the zone, low and away. Motto's been just a rock-solid all-around player this week. Takes a fastball away. 2-1. Sky looks the same as it's looked all day long. It's a gray sky. Kind of, sort of looks like rain is coming. Fastball inside, ball 3. Should get underway right around 3:45 with the second half of our doubleheader today. Motto late on a fastball as Morin's hat flies off his head after that pitch. Three-two pitch is a fastball lifted into right field. Dupre moving towards the foul line and makes the catch in medium depth right field for the second out. Ryan Kelly, the big right fielder, stands in. 6'3" out of Marlton, New Jersey. Senior Kelly takes low for a ball. Kelly today 1 for 3, a single and a sacrifice bunt. Next pitch is a called strike. Left-hander Morin deals, and it's a routine ground ball over to Mantoni at second base. He flips it to first. 1-2-3 go the Cougars here in the top of the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 outs to go for UMass Boston in their season. They need 4 to tie. It's 5-1. You're listening to NCAA Tournament Baseball on ESPN Williamsport.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I improved my credit score.
You're kidding, right?
No.
How are we supposed to be the bad boys of electro-synth pop if you're out there being responsible? The band is about to be discovered. This is our year.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while now.
You think anyone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was worried about their credit score?
I never really thought that.
Of course they weren't. Rock stars aren't supposed to think about that kind of stuff. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, write aggressively sensitive power ballads, start questionable fashion trends, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
All right. I thought maybe it was time to take control of my finances, you know? Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some goals.
A budget? Debt? Set some goals? Listen, I knew that we'd have our creative differences, but I was hoping they'd involve a little more scandal.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Little Aerosmith takes us to the bottom of the ninth inning. Multi-PA system here at GNC Field. Kean, once again, has been flawless defensively today. Not a single error. Only 1 error in the 5 games of this baseball tournament. 5-1 Cougars is your score as we enter the bottom half of the ninth inning. Vinny Sanfordino, the right-hander, still on the mound, and he will face Kyle Boudris, the left-handed hitting third baseman, to start things off in the ninth, and he takes a fastball just out of the zone high for ball 1. 6-7-8 here in the ninth inning for Brendan Eigebrot's squad. Next pitch, fastball on the outside half, strike 1. Anthony, I have a question for you. You see St. John Fisher up there sitting in the third base stands. They'll obviously be warming up on the field as soon as this one ends. If you're Kean and you win this game, after this pitch is a foul ball drifting up the left field side, 1 ball and 2 strikes, would you want to take the full 50 minutes or 60 minutes that you get between games, or would you want to give St. John Fisher 20 or 30 minutes to warm up and just get going right away?
I mean, you might as well just get going right away. You use that time to warm up, but you guys just played a game, so you are pretty warm. I mean, you would want to use the time to get your starter ready, but aside from that, once he's ready, you would want to get ready and start the game.
So you wouldn't want the full time?
I would just want enough time it took my starter to get ready. I don't know who their starter is going to be, and I don't know what his pregame routine is, but if it would take the full 50 minutes, then I'd take the full 50 minutes.
Another pitch was fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kyle Boudris. Zanfordino comes home with a fastball, driven into left field the opposite way, but right at Frank Urso, who makes the catch for the first out. UMass Boston, if they cannot come back here, will finish their season with a final record of 30-16. Champions out of the Little East Conference. Charlie Hughie stands in, 0 for 3 today.
Check that. There was a pinch hitter. Anthony Cesare is going to get his first at-bat of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament here.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, sir. Anthony Cesare is a 6'1 freshman out of Wakefield, Massachusetts. First pitch to him is a ball.
He appeared in 9 games on the season and only had 1 hit on the season, so he must have made the roster as a defensive replacement.
Takes a called strike with a fastball. Then he's Zanfordino, the big 6'4 right-hander, 2 outs away from a berth in the regional finals. Another fastball, grounded hard in the hole, and a base hit going into right field. Cesare is on with a 1-out single to extend the day here for the Beacons as they attempt to get the tying run to the plate at some point this inning.
And we're going to have a pinch runner for him, as I guess the UMass coach wants to get everyone involved here in this last game. And the pitcher from last night's game, Fernando Burguaz, is going to come in and pinch run.
So Cesare does his job. He gets on base and gives his helmet over to Burgos and heads back into the dugout. His day is done. Brings up Brian Dupree. They're not going to pinch hit for him. He's too hot. 2 for 3. First pitch is high, ball 1.
Not only is he too hot, as a senior, this may be his last at-bat in his college career.
Dupree 7 for 13 this week. Doubled in the 8th, singled in the 5th. Zanfordino comes home and misses inside. UMass Boston brought the tying run to the plate in the last inning, but Anthony Searles popped up to second. Zanfordino comes home with the 2-0. It's up and in. Almost hit him. Dupree ahead 3-0, and there's no way we're going to see a swing here. No reason to even look down at your third base coach. This is a glaring, blinking red light all the way. Might as well put it on a tee for him. That's what Zanfordino does. It's taken for a strike. Has to be awfully good here to turn it loose. The old situation, a walk is as good as a hit. Shallow fly into right. Ryan Kelly has a beat on it. And he makes the one-handed catch right around chest level to retire Dupree, and finally his final, probably his final at bat, as Anthony said. And that brings up, we'll see if they let Lopez hit here.
Nope, they're going to bring in a pinch hitter. The pinch hitter is number 40, Chris Fowler.
Chris Fowler, who entered the game as a pinch hitter last night against St. John Fisher. Left-handed hitter, he wears number 40. Fowler is a 6'1 sophomore out of Barnstable, Massachusetts. Fershino is in the on-deck circle as Fowler takes a fastball strike. "5-1, the Cougars of Kean. 1 out away here in the bottom of the 9th. From a matchup and a rematch against St. John Fisher. Cardinals defeated Kean 9-0 earlier in the tournament on Thursday. Breaking ball drops in there, and Fowler is in the hole 0-2. Round of applause here from the Kean crowd as they urge their right-handed reliever on. They want to strike out to end the game. Zanfordino comes set, and the 0-2 pitch is a routine fly ball to center field. This should do it. Shane Fontana squeezes it, and the Kean University Cougars have marched all the way through the losers bracket to win their last 3 consecutive games and advance to the regional final, where they'll take on the St. John Fisher Cardinals about 1 hour from now. 5-1 is the final. Anthony and I will be on to wrap it up when we come back. Stay with us here on ESPN Williamsport.
People are always talking about the stock market, always looking to invest in a good opportunity, something with the potential to grow. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock where you invest to make money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for everybody. I could be the first college graduate in my family, the first district attorney from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there will be a second and a third. This can really be the start of something. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
The staff here at the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic Regional, is rolling the tarp onto the field. Hopefully that's just a precautionary measure. As the second game today is scheduled for 3:45, St. John Fisher has made their way down onto the field, dressed in their long-sleeve warm-ups. The only undefeated team in the tournament. They will have 2 tries to punch their ticket to the College World Series in Wisconsin next week. Kean will have to defeat St. John Fisher twice in a row, and the first game will be today at 3:45. The second game, if necessary, will be tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. You can, of course, hear that one tomorrow if it happens here on ESPN Radio Williamsport. First, a wrap-up of the game we just brought to you. If you missed some of it, Kean got on the board in the top of the first inning without the benefit of a base hit. The first 2 batters of the game were hit by pitches from the starting pitcher from UMass Boston, Sal Frascino. After a sacrifice bunt ended in a throwing error by Frascino, Sal Taormina grounded into a double play, scoring the game's first run. That's the way it stood up until the top of the third inning, when Sal Taormina again... No, check that. The second run came in the third inning on a... Actually, it was an RBI ground out by Sal Taormina to second base that scored Chris Amato from third. And after that, really, it was a pitcher's duel. Ian Fitzgerald, the freshman left-hander for Kean, held UMass Boston in check the entire afternoon. 138 pitches on the day for Fitzgerald, 7 2/3 brilliant innings of baseball, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 5 walks, and struck out 7 before being relieved by Vinny Zanfordino for the final inning and a third. Fitzgerald gets the win in his NCAA tournament debut. Zanfordino picks up his... No, he does not get a save, but he closed it out with a strong inning and a third of relief. You know what? I'm gonna check that again, Anthony. He does get a save because the tying run was at the plate when he came into the game. So Zanfordino picks up his second save of the tournament. The losing pitcher today was Sal Frascino. He pitched 2 innings starting the game, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, and was relieved after those 2 innings of work. Brian Kaufman came in, did a nice job, really shut down Kean for the first 4.5 innings that he pitched before they got to him by putting up a 3 spot in the top of the 8th inning. Kaufman pitched 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, walked 2, and struck out 1. The time of the game was 2 hours and 44 minutes. And the final line score, 5 runs, 7 hits for Kean, no errors. UMass Boston, 1 run, 7 hits, and 2 errors. And Anthony, it was kind of a workmanlike effort from Kean today. Fitzgerald pitched great. The defense continued to shine. And the Cougars march on.
Yep, I think they did a great job. I mean, Fitzgerald had a lot on his plate. Primarily their closer. He came in and pitched 138 innings in 7 2/3 work, like you said. But by doing that, he allowed Kean to only use one other reliever. And Vinny had pitched last night anyway, so using him again allowed it allowed them to save their bullpen for this now elimination game that they'll go against St. John Fisher, who had beaten them earlier in the tournament.
Start time is scheduled for 3:45 p.m., and we have not heard differently. So we're going to go with 3:45 as the start time for the next game. Stay tuned here to ESPN Williamsport. Sean Lynch will take Anthony's place, and he'll be alongside me for the call of that one. That'll do it for the first game here. For my broadcast partner, Anthony Vega, and Marshall Flanagan, continuing his great work during the week back in the studio, I'm Paul Garrity. Reminding you, don't forget to tip your broadcasters. We'll talk to you back here at 3:45 here on ESPN Radio, Williamsport. Shallow fly ball into center. This will be interesting. Fontana makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be close. The tag, and he is out at the plate. For the second consecutive day, Shane Fontana in center field with an outfield assist and shows that strong, accurate throwing arm. And Brian Colt took a shot. 2-0 pitch from Kaufman is bunted. It's a safety squeeze, and they'll get the out at first. The runner from third, Fontana, did not attempt to score. He came about halfway down the line. Here's a slow ground ball up the middle, handled by Amato. He'll step on second, fire to first in time to get Hughie hustling down the line. A 6-3 double play ends the threat. First pitch is a line drive into right center. That's going to split the outfielders and be a base hit. Juggled out there by Dupre, and the runner is going to come all the way around from first to score with a feet first slide. Comes sliding in is Lopez. It's an RBI hit for Matt Krupa, and the second run comes around on the error by the right fielder Dupre. Hard line drive into the right field corner. That's going to get down in fair territory. One run has scored from third. Fontana digging for third, and he'll make it with a head-first dive. It's a 2-out triple to score the 5th run of the game for the Cougars of Kean. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball high, ball 4. The 3rd walk of the inning and the 2nd consecutive walk by the freshman left-hander. And the 0-2 pitch is a routine fly ball to center field. This should do it. Shane Fontana squeezes it. And the Kean University Cougars have marched all the way through the losers bracket to win their last 3 consecutive games and advance to the regional final. They'll take on the St. John Fisher Cardinals about 1 hour from now.
Thank you for listening to today's coverage of the 2016 NCAA Division III Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament. Stay tuned all tournament long here on the broadcast home of the hosting Misericordia Cougars. Online, ESPNWilliamsport.com, Stream 5.